Good morning, Texans. Today is Wednesday, September 9th, 2020, and it's time for our morning announcements. We'll start with our Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And now to the great state of Texas. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state under God, one and indivisible. And now we'll observe a moment of silent reflection. Texans, today is a B day, so you will see periods 2, 4, 6, and 8 today, starting at 10 a.m. B day today. All right, we're going to talk about in-person learning. We did this yesterday. I will continue to do this throughout the week. Some of it is repeat on a loop, and some of it is new information, so stay tuned. We have a lot coming, but if you are returning in person on September 14th, you're going to need to know some of this information. First of all, we are back to a traditional 8-period bell schedule. So each class period is 45 minutes, and then we've built in time for NHS TV announcements and also advisory that'll happen every day. But we are back to an eight-period bell schedule starting Monday, and you'll see every class every day. Guys, we need you to catch a car ride to school if at all possible. Now, those of you who do need to ride a bus, the buses are available as well. It's just that the distancing is not as available on the buses as we would like. And so to try to improve the ability to distance students on the buses, we're asking if you are able to catch a car ride, please catch a car ride to school. Across the whole district, all of the high schools, the buildings open at 8:20 a.m. We're not doing that to be mean. We're not doing that because we don't want you in here. We're doing that because we're going to have to send students straight to class, and teachers need to have time to get into the classroom and prepare. And so the building will open at 8:20 a.m. That's for bus riders, that's for walkers, that's for students in cars, all of those things. One exception to that would be if there are some students who are showing up here at like 6:30 a.m. for their athletics practices, things of that nature. They'll already be in the building, but they're directly and immediately supervised by the coaches and staff that are working with them. But everybody else, it's 8:20 a.m. entry time. Going straight to the classrooms upon arrival. We're not lingering in the hallways. We do have a grab and go sack lunch available in the cafeteria that you can pick up if you need a breakfast. I'm sorry, not lunch, breakfast. If you need a sack breakfast, they'll have that available to you in the student union. You can grab that, take it to your classroom, try to get it eaten before class starts, because of course once class starts you're going to have to pull your mask up and go. Masks are on at all times, but I'm saying that while you are actually eating this grab and go breakfast, you can pull your mask down to eat, but then it has to be immediately back up. Moving hallways. We're moving hallways at all times. We're not stopping, we're not standing, we're not lingering. The hallways, unfortunately, right now are not a socializing area. Those are areas that we're using to move to class. You got to go straight to class. And here's the perspective we need on this, friends. We're getting to come back to school, which is way better than being isolated in our houses, in my opinion. And I suspect that those of you who have opted to come back to school feel similarly. And so, yes, we're not getting to stand in the hallways and linger and that type of thing, but we're getting to be here, and so that's good. And if we want to continue to be able to get to be here and not get shut down because everybody's catching this virus, we got to keep the hallways moving. So these things are in place so that we can continue to have school. We don't like not having school. We want to have school. We're going to walk on the right-hand side of the hallways. That's kind of always been an unwritten rule here at Northwest, but we're going to make it a written rule now. And so everybody's walking on the right-hand side. So if you are heading toward Java City, you're going to be on the right-hand side of the hallway. And then you're going to have other students come in the other direction on the right-hand side, their right of that hallway. So you always walk to your right, and you know which one is your right hand. You walk to your right in the hallways. That just prevents congestion, things of that nature. Masks are on at all times, all day, except while eating. Now, we had our freshman tours yesterday, and our freshmen did a really good job with this. I only saw a couple of students who had maybe pulled their masks down, that kind of thing. We're going to have to keep the masks up, covering the nose and the mouth all the time, but masks are on all the time, all day, except while in the actual act of eating, and we'll talk a little bit more about that. Our masks need to fit snugly over the nose and mouth. I have mine here to demo, but of course I'm just in a little picture in the corner, so you may not see super well. But we want the nose and the mouth covered, and we want the mask to fit snugly. We don't want it loose and flopping around. I've seen that before, and we're having to correct these things as adults as well. But the mask needs to completely cover the nose and mouth. That's the whole point of the mask. And if you're not doing that, you're not wearing your mask, and we've got to fix that. Masks are on in our hallways. Masks are on in the restrooms. We don't take them down to go to the restroom. They keep them on. Masks are on in the classrooms at all times. When you're in the lunch line or the breakfast line or whatever line it is that you're going to pick up your food, your mask is still on. The only time your mask comes off is when you actually sit down at the table to eat, or sit down in a chair to eat if you're not sitting at a table. But anytime you get up and leave the area where you are seated to eat, and we are going to require that you're seated to eat, then you've got to put that mask back on. So masks are on at all times except while you are actually sitting down eating. Masks are going to be on while we're entering and exiting the building. That's something we're just going to have to get in the routine of doing. I've had to create that routine for myself. When I drive up to the school, I park my car, go ahead and put my mask on and wear it as I'm entering the building. I have to model that for you as well. But we're going to wear our masks as we get out of our vehicles, whether that's the car, the bus, whatever it is, and we're walking toward the building. We're going to keep our masks on as we exit the building and board the buses or get in our cars or whatever it is to leave. So the masks are on while entering and exiting the building. And here's the deal. If we have students here who are refusing the safety protocols, then we're going to have to send you back to remote learning. And we don't want to have to do that. We want to keep you here. But if you refuse to keep everybody else safe, we have to do that for everybody else's safety. Wanted to remind you too that prohibited at this time, we're not able to have dropped off lunches, so parents and families cannot drop off lunch to students, and we can't have visitors to campus at this time. If you choose to remain remote on September 14th, here's some stuff that you need to know. You're going to be on the same 8-period bell schedule as the in-person people, so you're going to see every class every day, 8 periods a day, 45 minutes per class period. That's going to be a little more hectic for the remote folks, so you're going to have to adjust to that. It's going to be a bit of a challenge, but I think you can handle it. You may have some teacher changes if you are remote, because we have some district-wide classes that are going to go with some district-wide teachers. We have some logistical things that go on, so you may see some teacher changes in your remote schedule if you stay remote. Really important for our remote learners. You need to view your new remote schedule by Sunday, September 13th. So on Sunday, September 13th, the day before school starts, get on your HACC account, Home Access Center account, and look. And there's actually some directions. So you log on to HACC, and then the home page that you see there is your week view, right? But it's going to show you the current week, like the week ending September 13th. There's a little arrow, and I put a picture of it in this slide here. There's a little arrow that you click up at the top of the page that'll forward you to the next week. You need to look at that week, and you need to see who all of your teachers are there. Find all of your teachers there, and then you need to check each of those teachers' Moodle for a remote learning icon. And I'm going to show you what that looks like. It looks like this. It's the little, looks like a little remote control deal. That is the remote learning icon. You need to look for that on each of your teachers' Moodle pages, and that way you're able to click and enroll in their remote learning for September 14th forward and be in their classes. That's a lot, y'all. I actually said it faster than I did yesterday. Yesterday was like 10 minutes worth of announcements. Today we're going to end about 9. But we're going to roll a lot of stuff out at you this week. We want to make sure you're prepared and have all of the information you need. Of course, you're welcome to email me, ask me any questions that you have. I'm looking forward to having everybody back on campus who's coming back. And those of you who are staying remote, we're going to provide you the very best education we possibly can as well. Texans, I love you. I miss you. I look forward to seeing you soon. I enjoyed seeing a bunch of you yesterday, and I hope you make it a great day.